Working our way to 6,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a 3-pack blister of Evolving Skies once we reach that point. Also, 5 Pokemon mystery card lots going out to 6 winners overall. All you got to do is be a part of the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, it's really that simple, except for the one extra step I make you do. Link is in the description below, but make sure you go over to this video here. That's where you leave an additional like and comment, so you're officially entered for that giveaway. Destined Rivals has been out for a little bit, just a little bit, enough to say let's take a look and see where things are at, but all signs point to getting better. We're going to start with the Destined Rivals Elite Trainer Box. This is Pokemon's latest set. Of course, we do have Black Bolt and White Flare coming out very soon, but this is the latest set available to us on the market. It came out at the end of May, and here we are a little more than halfway in June, so, you know, 2.5-ish weeks past the release date. Not a lot of time, but all those pre-sales, especially on some of these products, were crazy prices. $350 on a regular ETB. People are not smart. That is just not worth it. I don't care what kind of boom we're in. Pass on the set if you were even floating around that way for a long time or a while. I mean, a short amount of time or a long time, just skip it. Move on. There's other stuff out there. All right, but the fact that it had to come down and down and down, and we thought, hey, you know what? Things are floating around $200 for a booster box, around $100 for an ETB on a lot of sets, so maybe that'll stick there. Nope, didn't do that either. It's $85. $85. That's still above market price, or the MSRP. It's the new market price of $85, and that's not horrible. If you get into a shop, you should find it a little better. They have overhead. Online sales usually deal with like a 14 or 50% sale fee, so you know, 6-in-1 kind of thing. You're gonna hit about the same, but maybe at a show you might get a little bit better deal by a couple bucks or something, and find this around $80, something like that. But the reality is, it's coming down. It's coming down. It's a $50 box getting into $80. That's almost tolerable on a set that's kind of cool, and people aren't getting a lot of neat stuff these days. The stock is very low. The queue system is getting better on Pokemon Center. Still kind of not great. You know, more like a turd, if I could be honest, because you wait a long time, you get booted. I get it. They're trying to deter bots, but there's got to be a way to differentiate between bots and people trying to get their limit of one when things come up. So Destined Rivals is actually the booster, the build and battle boxes. Those just went up, apparently. Psh, sold out in an instant. And 3-pack blisters, those went up. Nope, gone. So I wasn't able to get a hold of those. Okay, fine, move on. Life goes on. Don't really care. I'm looking at what's available right now and what the prices are reflecting on that. And this is why things are going for the prices they are, because if you could get them sold out that quick in an instant on Pokemon Center or any other online storefront or anything like that at MSRP, yeah, people are going to turn around and try to make a profit on it if they can. That scalper mentality or quick flip mentality and stuff. So $50 on a booster bundle on an otherwise $27 box, that's pretty good profit there. Even after the fees and everything, you're still doing pretty decent in making some money there. But are you really going to be paying that? I'm not in at that. I'm just going to step aside and wait for the opportunity. I don't know if you can see behind me there, just a regular ETB. I was able to get one. I got it at MSRP. I was lucky it popped up, went and bought it, done. And they were sold out. I was one of the lucky few, I'm sure, who got a hold of it, and it did show up. I was a little bit worried for a second, but it did show up because things kept getting delayed in shipping. It was really weird. But this set, just like all of them, in the Pokemon space, things are going pretty crazy. So my thought process right now, and this is really not a safe one, is if it's remotely interesting and I can get it in MSRP, I'm going to pull the trigger on it. And I'm going to hold it because it's already got a gain of value on it right now. Even if things cool off quite a bit and these go all the way down to MSRP, well, I'm still doing okay. Because for a long while, for those of you who remember, who you were here, it came in at 151 maybe or something like that, or you were here in early Scarlet and Violet, you saw the entire market that it was always, almost always, under MSRP. Finding ETBs at $37, $38 was not uncommon, and they were still an MSRP of $50. So people were like, oh, you can get these anywhere, any day, anytime, so I'm not going to go crazy on it, and you get one when you want it, or get a couple if you want to say, open one or collect one or whatever it is. You know, people weren't going nuts for them, hoarding them. They were just getting their fill and enjoying the hobby. Well, that ship has sailed. People are opening like crazy. People are doing rip-and ships. People are hoarding them, thinking these are gold for later. If you get an MSRP, that's not a horrible mentality, but even still, spread it out a little bit. There was Cynthia's Garchomp box or something, I don't know, that came up as MSRP $40, and I was able to buy one as a purchase limit one. I got one, so great, that's on the way. I'll be excited to get a hold of that. That'll be fine. And we already know these things are turning around for doing more. That one is not specifically Destined Rivals exclusive, but it does have 2 Destined Rivals packs in it, and then it's got some Journey Together and other stuff. I don't know. So my mentality right now is if it's MSRP, I'm going to get it. My quantity is, 2. If the max is 3, I'll stretch it. But if the quantity is 1 available, I'll go for that. That's fine. But my quantity in my brain is 2. 2 is enough because it puts me in my place. Instead of going, oh, I can get 100, I'm going to get 100, yay, and be that guy. No thanks. It's not worth it to do that. I'd rather spread it out and get a little piece, a little piece, a little piece, so that we might actually have one that I could open, one that I can use for the I Gotta Get It shorts. If you don't know about it, subscribe, be part of the channel, and check that out. If you do know about it, you see what that's fun is about. But also, I can keep them sealed, because that hasn't been a horrible game to be playing either. Look at this booster box, Destined Rivals booster box. People, somebody out there, 24 people out there, 132 people out there, 98 people out there, you're all dumb. You're all dumb. I'm sorry. You have that many people to spend almost $400 on a booster box that didn't come out yet. Because you were riding the wave in March. Going, Prismatic Evolutions, the new rocket set, it's going to be amazing. Okay, calm down. No FOMO. Don't have a fear of missing out. Calm down. Patience is key. And then it cooled off real quick. Oh, look at that. We're not even at release. And it cooled off. Oh, wait. Hang on. Are we sure? Are we sure these have value? It's going to be... No. Once we got to the release, end of May, let's go there. This was like a $256 box. And then it's come around, up and down, around that same area. We're at $253. Okay. Not horrible given the state of things. The dummies who bought over here at almost $400. Sorry. I hope you learn your lesson, because I don't really wish bad for people. I hope you learn your lesson and you don't do that again. I've made mistakes in this hobby. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've purchased things at a ridiculous FOMO price, and here I am still wondering why I did that and waiting for the price to recover. Life goes on, though. So I try not to make those mistakes twice. So the one I did that really kills me, I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm going to move on with my life and hopefully not get into trouble with any more there. We're going to fly through the rest of these, because a lot of this is just me jabbing on, and I don't know why I sound like this today, just going crazy talking on all these tangents and different talks that I can't get my brain in order, so I apologize for the mess. Maybe you like the chaos. I don't know. Destined Rivals Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, exclusive, stamp promo, all the good stuff here. Look at that nice fall off from the stupid prices. Oh my gosh. It says 0 sold. I hope that's true. I hope nobody fell for this scheme here. Ridiculous that it was going for like $1,200, but even still, $900 there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're at 186. Okay, that's decent on something that exclusive that's sold out. They may have a restock of this. That's what I keep waiting for when these queues pop up and nobody knows what's really there. I'm like, is it another, Destined Rivals Pokemon Center version? Because I really like those. I think that'd be fun to get more of. The 3-pack blisters, after the FOMO prices, we're in the $24 range on the Zebstrika there, and then the Kangaskhan is similar. It's about almost $25 right now, $24.78 for the 3-pack blister. Ridiculous over the $14 MSRP, but not horrible given today's standards. And the fact is, we are cooling off. Things are calming down. It's getting into summer. People are getting distracted. They're wanting to go on trips rather than spend it on cards. And there's all sorts of reasons why the summer months do dip down. And also, we're going to see a turnover in the hobby, moving into new, it's not a new generation, but a new wave of things here, where we're going to move on from the Scarlet and Violet era soon. So people are kind of waiting for that. We have the ZA game coming out. People are waiting for that. And some of these things are kind of falling by the wayside. We also have the Black and White era kind of returning in the Black Bolt, White Flare, and we want to have some to show for that. Those are selling out quickly and everything. I understand. It's the same thing. This hobby has not changed in months right now. It's still a very hot boom, although you can see signs of cooling off. Signs like this Misty, where it's actually stabilizing. It's stabilizing after the FOMO, the recovery, the reality setting in, and then getting to a market price that makes sense for a card. Now, cards are different than sealed product. The market price is going to be determined by the actual wants of this. There's 103 listed right now, and they're going to be sitting at an average of the $60 range. It looks like market price is selling $52. You have some recent sales putting at $65. You're probably getting closer to like $60 range on the average listing, but it's going to be all over the place. So look for ways to, pair things up, get some free shipping out of it, whatever you can do there. Team Rocket's Moltres here, EX out of Destined Rivals. Why am I saying that? Obviously it's Destined Rivals. That's what we're talking about. We're down to 132. Not horrible for a nice, cool SIR like that. Cynthia's Garchomp EX. This one took a turn. It actually started increasing after that FOMO price. It came back down, and now it's been making gains. So people are liking it, and there's not as many out there. Pull rates are not great on this set, or many of the Scarlet and Violet era for that matter. The pull rates are terrible. We need to go back to Crown Zenith pull pull rates for a couple sets in a row, I think, just to get people excited. This one's sitting around 215. Team Rocket's Meowth, what a cool one. I think this goes good with the 151 Persian. Or no, I'm sorry, Shrouded Fable Persian, rather. I don't know why I was thinking of the Giovanni with Persian in it in 151, but this is more geared towards like that Persian looking out the window, maybe for the Shrouded Fable. If you're with me still, sorry, my brain's mush today. $27 on this illustration rare. Going into the Houndoom. Not a big Houndoom fan, but this is a pretty cool artwork. So, I mean, not that like I have a thing against Houndoom, I don't care. But it's not like, oh my gosh, that's one of my favorites. It's not in my top 10 or anything like that. But for not being high up there, this one does stand out. It's a really interesting artwork. It'd be fun to add to the collection if I get the opportunity at a better price here. I don't think 20 is where I'm at. But so $20 for that one right now. Again, not horrible given today's standards where we're at. Team Rocket's Mewtwo, again, we actually climbed back up a little bit from after that FOMO fall off into reality, and now we're climbing back up, stabilizing in this $380 to $385 range. Pretty expensive, but that is the chase of the set, and at least it's not $400, at least it's not $1,700 or some crazy, Prismatic Evolutions or Surging Sparks Pikachu price, or, whatever. I mean, it's expensive, but there are signs. That's what I'm saying. There's signs that even the top chase cards are kind of calming down a little bit in comparison to what we've seen recently. Team Rocket's Nidoking, cool artwork here. I don't think Nidoking gets as much love as he should. And we're at just over $100, 101 right now on that. And then Ethan's Ho-Oh, my chase of this set. And it's really rare because I am typically drawn to the mass hysteria of everything, where the top chase of the set ends up being my chase of the set and all that. This is the only case so far, I think, in the hobby since my return back in 2020 that I have a chase card on my own list here that's higher than, outside of the highest chase cards of the set. And I think this is like third or fourth on the list, to be honest. So not even in the top 2 or 3. So we got the Ethan's Ho-Oh. I just love the artwork. Ho-Oh, I kind of like that connection from when I played Pokemon Gold as a kid. And then we have a nice little recovery down from that FOMO price at 142. Being secondary market, this might be something that I'm looking at because even still 130 right there. Looks like things are starting to cool down a little bit. There might be a chance for this hobby yet, and maybe Black Bolt and White Flare is going to be the last explosion of craziness. I don't know what those pull rates are going to look like. If they're anything like Crown Zenith, I think there's some peace of mind that maybe some secondary market isn't going to be crazy on a lot of cards, but there's going to be so many illustration rares, hard to master, hard to go after that set, and maybe Pokemon's doing it right. Or maybe they're doing what they keep doing and taking everybody's money, and we're all hooked anyways, so who cares if we win, right? Who knows what they're going to do? I don't know. You don't know. But it's fun to look at the market and see. And today, we're just looking at Destined Rivals and just see where things stack up after a few weeks of being out, because the market's so crazy. It's kind of nice to get an idea of resetting and not being involved in the FOMO price or the hype of it all, but just kind of cooling down, taking a look, and finding out where things are at. I do post 7 days a week, and with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.